everybody. Welcome again to the Love Unscripted Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Wilson, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Alison Wilson. Alison, how are you doing today?
Oh, thank you, Joseph. I am actually really great because right now we're in Atlanta. We're in a family reunion, and I'm super enjoying being around people that I love and that I've known my whole life.
That's great. I know the holidays are a good time for everyone to reconnect with family that they haven't seen in a while. So tell me, do you have any special holiday, traditions that you look forward to?
I wouldn't really say that we have a lot of traditions around the Christmas holiday. Our family, most of our traditions revolve around the Thanksgiving holiday, which is already passed. But one of the things we do is we actually kind of celebrate our Christmas a little bit early in just my family. We exchange gifts and we just discuss thankfulness, and we always make sure to get together around that time of the year. Okay,
so that's cool. You guys celebrate it early. I, on the other hand, have a couple traditions that I love and would like to do more of. So I don't know about y'all, but one of my favorite Christmas movies is none other than The Grinch, starring Jim Carrey. And would y'all believe it that Allison has not seen that movie? But hey, I have to say, I haven't seen The Home Alone, so I'm not going to leave her out there to dry. And it looks like some of our guests may be looking at me a little crazy, but hey, that's what the holiday season is for, to catch up on new things. So this is the podcast where we host unscripted conversations about dating and relationships, and we're going to keep that going. So today, we have actually 3 guests with us. Not just one, we have 3. And I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. So we're going to start to my left. Who do we have with us today?
Hey everyone, my name is Maya Wright. I'm currently living in North Carolina. I'm a grad student studying public health, specifically women's health.
Hey everybody, I'm Marsha Wright, and I'm currently living in California. I too am a graduate student. I am studying marine science, but specifically I study sea turtles.
Hey everybody, my name is Travis Wright. I am not a student. I am a full-time worker, I guess you can say, or I am employed. Yeah.
That's great. He's still got a real job.
Hey, a man with a job. All right, so we have a variety of people here. I have some male representation. I have some people here for the ladies. And we are going to start off with a segment that we call Love It or Shove It. And the Love It or Shove It segment is where I bring a dating or relationship scenario, and you guys are going to have to tell us whether you guys love it or shove it. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so be honest with this one.
Okay.
All right, so let's say that it is the holiday season, and you've been talking to somebody for about maybe 3 or 4 weeks. All right?
But you were going to say months.
3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
Money's a little tight. You've gotten your grandmother something, got your parents, siblings something, and you do not get this person that you're talking to a gift. Do you guys love it or shove it that you didn't get the gift because you are low on funds?
Shove it, and I'll explain why. It doesn't have to be a gift you purchase. You can still give a gift from the heart that doesn't have to be expensive. So you can give them something.
So if somebody got you a Christmas present that was made of a card, you mean to tell me you're not going to feel some kind of way?
I am poor.
Okay. Also, at 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Are we even talking yet? I mean, come on.
Okay, so we have one shove it. What else?
I also shove it.
Oh, I thought I was going to be 11.
You love it? Okay,
No, you said that in 4 weeks they deserve a gift.
I'm even confused on if I love it or shove it. I think it's totally fine I give you a gift at 4 weeks. We still friends at this point. Merry Christmas.
Oh man. Okay, so that's 2. Oh man, so you're okay with them not getting the gift?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you love it. So
I love it. Okay,
you
love it.
You're fine with them not getting gift.
I am.
All right. So Travis, come on. What do you think?
He does a job.
I love it. So, if we're just talking for 4 weeks, I don't really know you.
Oh.
I would think I need more time to kind of even know what you might want, know what you might need.
I agree. It's fair.
Why am I gonna? That's just if we're just talking. I don't see that as a very commitment there to say, okay, I can see this going forward. So why am I going to invest money here?
Whoa, that was shade.
Okay.
Especially if I'm going to be already giving gifts to my personal family and spending my money there. I mean, and if money's tight, I mean, I'll explain. Hey, we just started talking. I mean. Money is tight.
Okay.
I'm really hoping that when y'all started talking, you guys did not go out to eat or y'all split the bill or something. Because I'd be real mad if you bought me my meal 4 weeks ago for our first date, and then now it's Christmas. And you're like, boo, I don't know you.
I don't know you.
So, I mean, I'm going to have to say shove it. Because I remember 4 weeks into our relationship, Joseph, I felt, I don't know how close we were, but I had a feeling that you could be it. And, you turned out to be it. But
we need more definition then. Because you're saying talking, and you're saying in a relationship.
I agree.
So there lies
lies
the question.
Okay.
So
I agree.
in millennials, we use this term talking. And that could mean a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I know when I thought of the term talking, that I was like, okay, we're at least kind of getting serious. That is not just a friendship. When you're talking to somebody, it's not like, okay, if they text, they'll get a text 2 days later. No, if you like them, you're going to text them back. And it's the holiday season. And I mean, am I wrong or what do you guys think?
Okay, so I should be reducing the level of seriousness of this when I answer the question, the seriousness of the relationship.
He said 3 to 4 weeks.
I said 3 to 4 weeks of talking.
Talking.
Because, that's the time, especially when, think about it. You give somebody the number, then you guys start texting back and forth, and y'all know the little feeling you get when it's someone new.
Let me go back then to some of my less serious relationships. Those guys that didn't make it. I remember one time I think I almost didn't get a car for Valentine's Day. I was hurt.
Oh.
No, I personally still think it's a shove it because I think if you care about somebody, you should make the effort to do something to show your appreciation or your concern or have some sort of desire. I mean, if you're giving gifts to other people, I think you should still have some sort of desire to give them a gift, even if it's like a snow globe or like a handmade card or a photo,
I guess for me, gifts is not my love language.
Okay.
For me, it's more personal time. So like if I'm talking to someone and I like you, I'm like, we should spend some time together.
Okay.
And to me, that's like, okay, that's serious because I'm usually with my family, so I want to spend time with you. It's like, all right, I think this is something.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I would accept that.
I can definitely agree with that. I mean, there's many other opportunities or possibilities that you can do to share a gift. Going to DC, see the Christmas tree. I mean, there's so many various different things besides spending money, and especially with the definition of talking. I mean, if we are serious, then I can say, okay, we can go and spend this time together, or I can try and figure out a way to get a gift that maybe might be homemade.
Exactly.
But I mean, if we are just talking,
I agree.
3 or 4 weeks, that to me, that's just, I'm still getting to know you.
Me too.
I'm still vetting you, that kind of thing.
So I'm going to go around the room and I would just want to get a head count. So Maya, what did you love it?
I love it.
Okay.
You originally shoved it.
Do you like the fact that they didn't give the gift? Love it or shove it?
No, I did not like the fact.
Shove it.
But,
all right, Travis. Love it.
I initially shoved it, so I'm going to stick with that.
I'm going to say shove it. And this is why. 3 weeks in, 3 weeks before Christmas is November. I mean, if you cannot save $10 to get a simple gift, I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not saying go buy her a K diamond ring. I'm just saying like something simple. And 3 weeks is long enough, in my opinion, to be talking to somebody, have them in your phone, texting them often. And that's what I think. So you guys, let us know what you think. I'm going to put this up on the Love Unscripted Facebook page. Let us know whether or not you should love it or shove it, talking about getting gifts for somebody you've been talking to maybe about 3 or 4 weeks over the holidays. So head on over there and let us know what you think. All right, so as you can tell, we are discussing dating during the holidays. And this can be a challenging time for millennials. One, we have the pressure of having to define certain relationships. Holidays are a good time where you can determine what level you are with somebody based on whether or not you get invited to the work party, or if you get invited to grandma's house for Thanksgiving, or if you even get a gift for Christmas. And I think it's one of those very challenging times because a lot of people have a hard time navigating it in the sense of the pressure that comes with it and how they deal with that pressure. So I'm going to throw this question out to you guys. How do you guys feel about people, let's go to the family realm, families putting pressure on you to find somebody, or they continuously ask you questions about a significant other or a possible significant other during the holidays?
I feel like Travis should go first with this one.
How do I feel about that? To a certain extent, it's annoying, but I mean, at the same point in time, it's their concern about you and your welfare and your happiness. So there's an understanding there. And then there's also another opportunity to get advice and get seek knowledge and experience from them as well, because they might have been in the same shoes that you've been in.
Okay, what else?
It just reminded me of an instance I had with my mother last week. Because I was talking about a friend that I had, and she was like, well, is this friend single? And I said no, and she kind of looked a little mad because I seem to be having a lot of guy friends that are not single. And I think she was a little mad, but I think the thing is she just sees how, well, this may sound really self-absorbed, but she sees how much of a wonderful person I am or could be, and wonders why people don't see that as well. So I think first, in a sense, they see how wonderful their children or their family is, and they wonder, who sees this gem that I have and who's going to go after it type thing.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. I think it's great. I find the conversations great because I'm like, find me a husband. I'm ready. Whatever you want to know. So I just find talking about relationships in general interesting. So I find it to be fun. I don't see it as pressure. I see it as just like working on this thing together.
Okay. That's nice. So that seems like two different perspectives. We have one person who it's annoying, and the other person sees it as an opportunity. So I'm going to ask, so where are you guys at in your, I guess, dating journey? Are you looking for somebody actively, or are you just sitting back laying low?
I'm that one who, have you seen that meme? You have to break into my house because I'm waiting for you at home. I think I am not actively looking, which is maybe not great, but that's where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm actively looking. I go out. Currently talking to someone right now, so I feel kind of guilty about this previous conversation because I have no intention of buying a gift. But yeah, I said I'm actively looking. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to say I am not actively looking. I've gone on a few dates in the last probably few months, but I haven't been actively doing it, I guess.
Got you. So in the person who is receiving these questions, it's important for them to know whether or not they're even in the market for somebody, because that question can be taken two different ways. If you are looking for somebody, then it's welcome. But if you're not, if you're chilling, then it's like, okay, y'all gotta stop. Like, family can really try to push the envelope on us because they dated and got married fairly quickly back in the day. Now the pressure's on us to, okay, keep the family going. Where are the kids? Me and Alison are married, and I feel like that's a question that side comes up around the holidays. So where are the little ones? And I'm not talking about your dogs. I mean, those kind of questions. So Alison, what do you think?
About the pressure?
Yeah.
Man, now, if you don't know, Marsha and I have the same mom. And she can really apply the pressure. Before I met Joseph, she actually created me an online dating profile. Did you know that, Joe?
I don't know. I don't think so.
And the funny thing is, I was like, whoa, she's going to make me one. Maybe I need to make myself one. You know how many hits she got on the one she made for me? I didn't get any. Oh, no. No, but I guess I find that pressure to be kind of strange at that time, I felt like my mother didn't really understand what kind of person I was looking for or had the ability to have positive input, so I didn't appreciate it. But then, once I met you and the fact that you had actually met her before I met her and she approved, it kind of changed my perspective on how I felt family input mattered. So I think for me, I think it's okay, especially if your family loves and cares about you. Mm-hmm. They just want to give you some help, to allow you to reach, to reach that place where you're in a confident relationship with somebody that can fit into your family.
So for me, just hearing other people ask other people about, so are you talking to anybody? It's like cringeworthy for me. It's like watching a slow car wreck. And I don't know if it's because I personally wouldn't want that question addressed to me, even if I was talking to somebody. Because at some basic level, I feel like, okay, it's none of your business. Mm-hmm. And I think we have too much respect for our families to say that. So we kind of just take it on. And we just allow it to, like, okay, they'll ask. And it can be challenging. But if you're, like I said, on the other hand, if you're ready and willing, then it's like, okay, let's go find somebody. But if not, it's like, okay, slow your brakes. So I'm going to transition a little bit. Here's, a situation or a question that I'm sure a lot of people wonder during the holidays. At what point, when you're talking to somebody or seriously considering them, at what point are they allowed, or should you start inviting them to family events or holiday events?
So I have two sides to this. Here's what I would love to do. I would love to bring around my person at any time for everything. But the family may overanalyze or overexpect what our relationship is, so it could add pressure to it, so that therefore I would not want to bring them around, even if we're just, friends or talking or whatever. So I would love to bring them around for everything, but I don't want it to seem like it's more than it may be. So I probably wouldn't bring them too much.
Okay, so at what point would this person be...
Well, actually, go to someone else.
We will come back to you. So...
For me, I'm very clear. My parents or my family, especially the family, doesn't meet anyone until we're, like, definitely together, like, committed, only seeing each other. So my parents would see them before my family would. So, like, if this is my boyfriend, we're, like, only seeing each other, they probably see them, maybe 4, 5, 6 months. But my real family, not real family, my, like, my extended family, my grandparents, aunts and uncles, probably not until it's like, I can marry this person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can definitely piggyback on what Maya said. But then there's also what Marsha said on the eyes of the family on that specific person and the pressure that might put on the relationship. Yes, so there might be pressure, but there also might be some eyes of knowledge and eyes of wisdom on that situation. So I think there's a balance. I mean, yeah, you might want to bring them around because you want them to be with you in this occasion, but then also you kind of want your family to kind of say, what do you think about this person? Mm-hmm. Not that it's going to be the end-all, be-all based on what they say, but you want their opinion. Mm-hmm. But I agree with Maya on the point that it should be when we have decided, okay, this is where we're going and we're moving forward. So, okay, now I can bring you around more frequently.
Okay.
Would you wait to introduce them to your family until you're ready to get married?
No, not that long.
Okay.
What do you think, Allison?
I'm kind of that school where I think that once we know we're serious about each other, then I would want to start bringing you around the family and giving you the opportunity to get used to them. I'm kind of slow at building relationships, so I just assume everybody else is, and that it's going to take my significant other time to get used to my family and to really, connect to them. So I want to bring them around fairly early so that they can create a bond with, my siblings, my parents, my cousins. Because I just really value, them incorporating themselves into the family.
Okay. And one thing that I see, especially in the millennial group, is that we are hesitant to bring people around unless it's extremely serious.
Right.
Why do you guys think that is?
Maybe it's because of the expectation that our parents, because since we've waited so long to even move in that arena,
Mm-hmm.
there's an expectation. Okay, this person's coming around. This must be that person. Kind of what Marsha said.
Yeah.
So the idea that let me just bring a friend over. That friend is going to be immediately viewed as that's the girlfriend or that's the potential fiance, and that might not be what I want. That might even ruin the relationship that we have.
I feel like getting the questions too. It's like, where's so and so, and it's like, well, we're not together anymore. You know, like I'd rather it be like, if we broke up, it's because something seriously happened. Then it's just like I'm seeing different guys, and they're asking like who this person is. So yeah, I rather, because I respect my family, so I respect their time too. So I want it to be someone who, for them to get to know that could actually be in my life.
What I want to know though is why does having your family question if somebody you brought over is your significant other or even a potential interest? How could that ruin a relationship? I don't think I really understand that.
I think it could put pressure on that relationship. Maybe that person likes you, but you don't necessarily know it, or you don't necessarily have knowledge of it, or they haven't shown it to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one, because now the way we think of, okay, they come to meet the family, we put a higher level of expectation on that act. Mm-hmm. We obviously know that when you come to meet the family, there's something special about the bond that we have. Mm-hmm. And if you're coming over, then I must see it going somewhere. Right. It doesn't know how far it will go, but it must be going somewhere. And then when the parents see it, then they're like, okay, if they're willing to bring them to meet me, that is saying something.
So then you're saying the person that you brought might have an unrealistic expectation that you didn't intend for them to get.
Possibly.
Okay.
Or just expectation for everybody. Marsha, did you have anything to input before I say something else?
You'll keep speaking.
Okay, so here's another thing. What do you think would happen if we did not wait so long to bring people we're talking to or dating around more often? As in, instead of waiting until we thought it was serious to bring them around for the holidays, what if we were bringing people that we're talking to around more frequently? I see it as, okay, if our parents see us that we're casually dating and they see people come, they don't put an expectation that every single person around is going to be the last one. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think of that thought?
I feel like I was really lucky in that situation, because usually, like I said before, I would not bring anybody around. But then when I met you, I invited you over to my house right away. But that's because I was trying to let you know. Or I was trying to create a situation for us to be in the same room together. And that worked out for my favor, because then my parents saw you. You weren't the only person I invited. I mean, I invited several people at one time, but they got used to seeing you around. They got used to having you around. I was able to see you interact with them, see you interact with other people, and it just made the transition into my life simpler and easier for me.
Okay. What do you guys think? As far as casually dating and bringing people around more often versus waiting until you think it may be serious to bring them around during the holidays?
I think it could potentially help weed out people. So I know there's situations where I'm talking to a guy and some things happen and I don't feel right about it, but I'm not sure if it's like worth ending it. And you tell your parents, they're like, absolutely not. Okay, cool. And so you just like, it's done. But if they would have met them before, it might have been like nipped in the bud then, instead of you dealing with it for the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
What do you think, Marsha?
I agree.
Is it unrealistic to everyone you talk to start bringing them around your family so they can see them?
I don't think the thought process that's going through my mind is I don't think it's unrealistic as long as it's communicated. This is what I'm doing.
Or this is just a friend.
Communicated to who?
To who? Your family, and then to the person you're bringing.
Okay.
As long as it's all out in the open, I feel as though everybody knows. Then this is what we're doing.
Even if it's even if it is out in the open,
there's always an assumption.
There's still an assumption. There's still this could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this person could be it.
I agree.
Is that assumption in our family, or
yes.
is that assumption in life of individuals?
I think our the right family.
Yeah, we can only speak of our family.
Yeah,
I mean,
so like I said, the reason I think the assumption is there is because if people don't come around frequently enough,
right.
we can train our families on how we interact with other people. Mm-hmm. So for instance, if I have best friends that come over all the time throughout the week and my parents know that that's who it is, they'll know the difference and say, hey, this person, let's have dinner for them. Mm-hmm. They'll know it's serious. Mm-hmm. Versus, okay, let me just bring one person around. Is okay, is this the dinner we're gonna make for this special friend? Oh, is this the one? No, because now they're on edge because they know dating leads to something.
Right.
And so, what do you guys think as far as? Oh, Maya, you disagreed or was shaking your head. So, what are your thoughts on the casualness part?
I don't know, because I feel like I've talked to guys that it doesn't work out. And so I wouldn't necessarily want to bring them to my family, especially my brothers, because it's like I was trying to get to know you, and it wasn't someone I wanted to continue knowing. So if I brought you home, it's kind of like I'm bringing people, strangers to my house that like I feel like my home is like a
sacred.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I wanted to be someone who not necessarily my husband, but like at least I consider like continuing on.
So do you feel like you could just bring them over to your house just as a friend, like a girlfriend, a guy friend, this is my friend?
I don't know. I also think it's tough because I don't live in the same as my parents do. So I don't go home all the time. So if I'm going home, it's like it's for a hug or something. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's a bigger thing than just going to see my parents. It's not as casual. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. No, I think the scenario that you brought up kind of works in the situation of where you might have a group of friends, maybe from church, from school, from college. They come over all at once, and then they know that all these people are your parents know that all these people are your friends. Not to say that one of these people in this group might be the person that you are trying to kind of like what Alison did with you.
Okay. I don't know. I just think that people put a lot of pressure on themselves by isolating people. I agree with that. And with parents, like, we have to understand where they're coming from. If you're dating, they're like, oh, wow, this could be something big. But if you're constantly dating and you're like, okay, I'm searching for somebody, I don't know who it is yet, I'm going to bring them around just to see what you guys think. I'll let you know when it's serious. That's fair. As we say, always communicate things. Right. When you communicate that to them, you'll know when it's serious because I will tell you it is serious. That's different than, okay, man, are they going to ask you? Whether or not this person is the one or not.
Yeah. I'm hearing you and I agree with you. But some parents can be very stubborn and they won't listen to what you have to say. I feel like Travis is different.
Absolutely. So what's that challenge? Talk for the people who may have stubborn parents.
I mean, even though you might communicate what is going on and what is happening, their expectations or their desires of happiness for you will override what you've communicated to them. And therefore, they will act a certain way according to what they want to happen, I guess you can say.
Okay. That is very understandable. And you brought up a good word that's going to transition. You said expectations. Mm-hmm. So another thing that comes up, another challenge is, let's say you are dating somebody. You enjoy their company. You're very serious. And you two have decided, okay, we're going to commit to each other at a certain level. But for some reason or another, your parents aren't going to accept them, whether it's because of their career choice, their style of dress, the way they look, their families. I mean, there's all types of things. So how do you guys feel like, help me out, Allison, what am I trying to say? I'm asking about expectations. How do you guys think the pressure of having parents not really, I just had it. Excuse me.
So they have
Unscripted Podcast.
They have their own view of who you should be bringing home.
Right. So how do we deal with that?
Well, we're two different people.
Can you just say that?
No.
So I think to your point is, there are a lot of times they're viewing the external. Mm-hmm. They have not spent time with this person, getting to know this person, knowing this person's background, knowing this person's situation, knowing this person's personality, knowing the home that this person came from.
Right.
So, for you to say, okay, well, I'm going to be serious with this person, is for you to make the commitment that, okay, I believe based on my experience and based on what I've been through that this person is for me. Now I'm going to bring him to my parents. Yes, your parents might have more experience, might have more knowledge, but they don't know this person from Adam. Right. It is then their job not to judge or not to jump to conclusions, but to say, okay, we've raised our child in a way that we think that he or she is well-rounded, has a head on their shoulders, and they've chosen this person. Okay, we will now, I guess, vet this person or try and get to know this person to say, okay, what does our child see in this person, and can we agree upon it?
I also feel like it depends on what the expectations are. You know what I mean? So like, if the expectation is I want my child to marry a Christian, and I live a Christian life, I feel that's a fair expectation. The expectation is like I need my child to marry a lawyer and they're an artist, and it's different. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it depends on what those things are. I think in our family we sometimes expectations to be Seventh-day Adventists, and that can be, you can agree or disagree with that, but I think that could be one where it's like you have to decide for yourself what you want. But I don't think all expectations are necessarily bad. And I think sometimes, especially if you fall in love, like you fall head over heels fast, you can be clouded by like physical things. Your parents can help you like see through some of those things. But I think also there's times where they have expectations for you that are for themselves, then instead of what you want for yourself, and then you have to be able to see the difference in those situations. So it's definitely tough. It's not an easy thing, I don't think.
So how seriously should we take our parents and our extended family members' expectation of who we're supposed to be dating or who we're supposed to be with?
So I think you should take your parents' advice or maybe opinion or thoughts seriously. But to the extended family, not so much. Because they're not interacting with you on a daily basis.
Right.
That's not to say that your parents' word or their advice or their thinking is gonna be written in stone. You can have a conversation and okay, this is what I see. Well, that's what you saw. Okay, I will vet it more as we move forward. That kind of thing.
Okay, Alison, what are your thoughts right now?
No, I mean, I think Maya brought up a really great point. That's super important to understand where your parents' expectations are coming from. I mean, are they really out of concern for you, or are they just out of concern for themselves? Because I know that some of my parents' expectations, I think, were probably not pure because they were concerned about, how people would look at us together. They're like, is it going to embarrass us because, say, you have tattoos? Is that going to reflect on me as a parent negatively because now my child is dating someone who's not the ultimate Christian,
From the outside.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. From the outside or from their personal standard.
Yeah,
because, most people, a tattoo is nothing, doesn't mean anything really. But I think you really have to understand why they have the expectations that they do. And like you said earlier, Joseph, I think that's a point for communication. When your parents have concerns, whether they be good concerns, or negative concerns, you need to probably, if you care about their opinion, it's good to discuss them with them and understand where they're coming from.
Can I add one more thing? You have to kind of look at also culture. And to what Maya brought up earlier, religion as well. Based on where your parents have come from, based on what they've seen, these biases, these understandings of how things are have been built, they have their foundation in them, and some of them may still be true, a lot of them may not be, and to an extent they are living in a world of the past. So you kind of have to understand where they're coming from and say their thoughts and their opinions will have validity, but not all the time.
Right. And man, I can just imagine the pressure that someone may be feeling going into Christmas on Tuesday, and they're like, man, how's this conversation going to go? Man, who's going to be asking me about this person, or are they gonna drill this person, or should I invite them over? Are we at that spot yet? It's a lot of pressure that we have to deal with, and I think you guys are giving some really great perspectives on how to look at it. Not that someone should do it any particular way, but just how they should start looking at it. Maya, you had something?
Yeah, can I ask a question? How do you guys, so say you have a boyfriend or girlfriend that you really like, you bring them to your family, do you prep them for the potential questions they might get? So, Alison, did you prep Joseph before you brought him over for Christmas?
Yes. Yes. I was like, okay, my dad is going to grill you. We have these dinners every Sabbath where they sit around the table with psychologists and professionals, and they ask everyone all sorts of things, and they're going to do it to you.
Yeah, she definitely did prep me, and I had to go ahead and get in the zone for myself and be like, okay, this is what to expect. Don't take it seriously because I've already been warned. If I had been blindsided, if I had walked in, sat down, and like, okay, sir, that's different. But you can still prep somebody. You may not be able to stop all of the questions, all of the, come here, let me have a talk with you.
I didn't mind the fact that they questioned you because it helped me see from an outside perspective what your seriousness was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how you handled it.
Yeah.
And they asked you some weird questions like, when you clean the kitchen, what do you clean first?
Listen, I had 2 marriage and family therapists question me. I didn't know this at the time. So good thing I told them the truth because they probably would have been able to tell I was lying.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think prep them. Have that conversation. Don't throw somebody out to the wolves and like someone's going to get drilled. Prep them and you never know. At least if it doesn't happen, at least they're prepared.
Right.
So what if then your parents or your family's interaction with your person you've brought is a bit overwhelming? It's a bit much. Do you come into the rescue or you let them sit it out?
I feel like for me personally, because I'm a girl, right? And so like I'm my dad's only daughter. So I feel like you have to survive it if you want to be together. You know what I mean? So you definitely prep them, prepare them. But at the end of the day, is this what it's going to be like forever? So like it might be tough and hard. You might have falter some, but if you can survive it, then hey, that's like one of the check marks off before we move on to
I think at one point during your conversation, Joe, I got up and left.
This is the part where I get to quote unquote drag Allison because during this almost 2.5 hour conversation interrogation, she walked out. She went for a walk outside in the sun, and I was still there answering questions. She came in, got some water, saw we were still talking, and walked back out. I mean, it was definitely like one of those things. I'm like, hold on, is this chick gonna just leave me in here? But I mean, at the end of the day,
you survived.
I did survive.
Got a wife, you know what I mean?
I did. All ended well. So I do have a question on a little bit lighter note, and this is something that goes around always about this time in social media, and it's about the fixing the plate. All right, so let's go ahead and have this conversation. So you have somebody that you bring to the holiday dinner, ladies. Do you guys fix your significant other's plate? Or does he have to go through the line by himself and fix it?
Where are we in the relationship?
You're dating.
You're dating. Let's do dating.
You're in an exclusive relationship.
You're in an exclusive relationship.
We will go through the line together, and I will say, this is this. You can get some of this, all right?
I love that
Put it
answer.
on your plate.
So you will not make his plate for him?
I will help him make his own plate.
I co-sign with Marsha.
I was going to say and tell you what we did. We had the conversation before. Before you came over
We sure
here,
did.
together. I said, babe, because in my household, at least prior, my dad has changed a little bit, but our mother makes our father's plate. She used to. And she had to bring the fork, the napkin, pour the juice, everything. So, I'm not against making your plate, but we had the conversation. I said, Joseph, do you prefer to have your plate made? Do you want me to make your plate? And Joseph's a feminist. He said no. He said he didn't like having his plate made. He could make his own plate. I was like, okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. You're gonna make your own plate. Sometimes, every once in a while I think I make it for you, but it's very, very seldom.
So Marsha and Maya, if he asks you to make his plate, do you make it?
I wouldn't mind making it. I think for me, it's the expectation is what I find an issue with. I don't mind doing nice things to the person I love. Of course not. I think it's not a big deal. But if you expect me to do it because I'm a woman, it's kind of like, hold on. There's an issue.
Okay, Marsha?
Yes, definitely. 100% agree with Maya.
So if he asks, I'm pretty sure he's expecting you to say yes.
But then he communicated it. Like, he communicated. He said, I'm nervous about something, or, would you mind making my plate? I'm like, sure, no problem. I'll make it for you.
Okay. So Travis, how does it look when a woman may offer to fix your plate?
I don't mind. I don't think it looks bad. I think it's a nice gesture.
Okay, would you prefer to make your own plate, or would you be okay with a young lady making your plate at the family gathering?
First visit.
I prefer to make her plate.
Oh! Yes. Okay. Okay.
Ladies, did you hear that?
Okay.
I mean, she is my guest. So, I mean,
okay.
if she is my guest, I am taking her to this situation where she might not necessarily feel comfortable. So it is my job to make her feel as most comfortable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, he's single.
See that? Yes. See, way to represent. So nice. Way to represent for the guys. So did y'all have any more comments on that before we get ready to head to our Flip the Script? Anybody? Okay, so we're going to go into the Flip the Script segment, and Allison is going to present that today.
Right, all right. Here's the question, you guys. How can people better manage the pressure of dating during the holidays, especially regarding explaining your relationship status to family or friends?
All right, so one thing that I think is really important when it comes to family is making sure you are confident in where you are in the relationship first before you try to explain it. Because nothing looks worse than saying, we're kind of talking, we're kind of not. If you know where you're at, be able to verbalize that. And it's okay to say, you know what, I prefer not to talk about that. Each of you know your own family members. You know how they will respond to certain answers. But communicating where you're at and being okay declining the question is completely okay. Because what happens is we get pushed into a corner sometimes and we feel we have to answer every single question about every area of our lives just because it's the holidays and just because everyone is catching up. Yes, they are family, but they are not entitled to every area of our lives. So my Flip the Script in dealing with that kind of pressure is first, know what your relationship status is, know where you are, and be able to verbalize that if you choose to, but also reserve the right to decline the question in a way that's respectful. These are our family. These are grandmas, aunties, uncles. We got to see them again. Do it in a respectful way that will still bring peace at the end.
All right. Thank you, Joseph. I think that was really great advice.
So, Allison, what did you think about this episode?
Man, like always, I really enjoyed this episode. It was great to see the perspectives out there. I mean, I was surprised about the love it or shove it. You know, I can't say I agreed 100%, but, you know, sometimes when people put their perspective out there, it can change yours a little bit. I was excited about Travis, you know, offering to fix that plate. Ladies, like we said earlier, he is single. Let me repeat, he is single. But anyways, I had a great time, Joseph, and I'm really hoping that somebody can take this information and use it. Oh, and Marsha, she's single too, and Maya does not have a ring. So
I'm single.
we're gonna put their pictures up. Please look closely. All right, have a great Christmas.
So I definitely want to thank each and one of you for joining the podcast this week. You guys really did share a lot of good perspectives from our point of view. I think a lot of people don't understand what it's like dating in our age range, and being able to have this conversation with multiple people, I think is going to provide a lot of value to the people listening. So guys, thank you guys for listening. Please head on over to the Love Unscripted Facebook page. Go ahead and like that, and that's where we will continue this discussion. Also, we are on iTunes and Google Play. Please comment, rate, subscribe to the podcast on whichever platform you choose. This is Joseph signing off. Thank you. Have a good one.